Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So this podcast is about your journey in music and how you got to where you are now, getting signed to Rise Records, and
Sick.
the story of Bloodbather and all that.
Awesome.
So cool, man. Again, thanks for doing this. So whereabouts? Where did you grow up?
Broward County, Florida, born and raised.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
South Florida, so it's really hot, really humid, but it has a lot of diversity with like cultures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. Growing up here was cool. I love it.
Is there a big scene there? Big music scene?
Give and take. It's kind of hard for bands to tour down here because South Florida is definitely a dip in. It's hard to get bands down here sometimes, but the local scene is pretty strong.
That's cool. Like, where would a bigger band go? Like, what's the closest like city? Like Miami or something?
Yeah, so like Miami or Fort Lauderdale. Those
okay.
are like the two big ones.
Right on. That's cool. And then how did you get into music?
I got into music actually because of skateboarding.
Oh yeah, same with me, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, I hear that's like a normal thing, but yeah, I got into music via skateboarding because I was at the skate park and they would play like Under Oath and stuff. And then my sister was also into a bunch of like Warped Tour music, so she made me a MySpace, and I found out about a bunch of awesome bands through like MySpace and stuff. So.
Oh, cool. Nice.
Yeah.
And what was the first instrument you learned?
Guitar. Yeah.
Guitar.
Yeah.
How old are you when you learned guitar?
Really late. I got my first guitar after like practicing at Guitar Center all the time, and
I was just go like, there and play on the guitars.
Yeah. So I was like 16 years old. I started playing guitar, so really late, honestly.
Okay. And then
usually people start earlier.
Sure. Yeah. So once you started playing guitar, is that when you started a band? Did you join a band? Start a band?
Yeah, I had another band before Bloodbather that wasn't good, and yeah, I started that with one of my friends that was way better than me at guitar, but I was only playing guitar for like a year, and I was like, I'll just pretend like I'm good enough to play in this band, and then we started.
Okay, you guys started a band, and what happened with that band?
It basically just like slowly drifted into like nothing. It was like one of those bands that I put so much effort into it and it just would not work out. And it was just one of those things where it just kind of had to end for something better to start, which obviously now is good.
Yeah, totally. Where was that band heavy? Like yeah,
it was the same thing as not the same thing as Bloodbather, but it was definitely heavy. It was like metalcore, deathcore stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how does the formation of Bloodbather happen?
Bloodbather happened because actually to tour we needed enough money to get like a full guarantee, like $150 or like $100, so we could stay on the road. So I made Bloodbather almost as a joke with one of my best friends because we needed another band to tour with without like having like a whole other band. So that's why we started Bloodbather.
Wait, so you were in another band?
Yeah. No, the same band that wasn't good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the band that wasn't good.
Yeah.
What, you guys were touring? So you were taking that pretty seriously then. So you guys were touring
yeah.
and stuff?
No,
okay.
We were taking that really seriously.
And then tell me a little bit more. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that band in there, and then we'll talk about Bloodbather.
Yeah, so cool. that band was just like, it was just like sworn in worship basically. And it was one of those things where it's like kind of how Bloodbather is, where I write the majority of stuff, but it was just like I couldn't get anybody to take it as seriously as I did. And it just wasn't working out. Like everything I would do just wouldn't work out with that one. So
but you would tour and
we would
a lot in the local scene.
We would tour, book DIY tours. Same thing with like Bloodbather. It's just always like been DIY tours and stuff. So we would book those, do like East Coast runs, like 20 days or so. And then that's
what other local bands in the area, or like tell me about some of those tours.
the tours were literally just us. So it was like, that's why I made Bloodbather. So it would be another band that we could tour with without having to have more members in the SUV that we were touring in. So it was
Okay.
like, I made a whole scheme to make it work.
Okay,
You know
so
what I
let me
mean?
hear, but let me see how the scheme works. Okay, so you,
So yeah, so Bloodbather would just be the old band, and then it was like Jeff, our old front man, me, and then all the other members in the other band would play in Bloodbather. So we could keep it like 5 people in the van. And then the promoter wouldn't kind of know, I guess. He would just be like, oh, there's just 2 bands. You know what I mean? They might share like some members, but
right?
basically it was just like the same people playing in 2 bands almost.
That's hilarious. And
Yeah,
so
but
that's how Bloodbather kind of came about. It was just, hey, we need another band to keep the
yeah,
guarantee.
yeah, and it was like a passion project where it was just I wanted to do something that was a nod towards a lot of my favorite bands, like 18 Visions, Martyr AD,
Mhm.
Disembodied, early 2000s metalcore, and I just wanted to do something that was fun and I didn't have to really take it that seriously. Obviously now I take it seriously, but
Mhm.
in the beginning it was just fun, and I think that's how a lot of my favorite bands started out, is just they wanted to do something fun, and I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, um, so like with that band, how did the success start? Because it obviously at one point, the band that you were talking about prior just fizzles out, and you continue going with Bloodbather, and you guys get
Yeah.
signed to Rise Records. So
Yeah.
tell me that about that transition. What happened?
uh it was crazy with Bloodbather. Like from the first show that we played, people really liked us, and it was kind of this thing. I was just like, wow, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like I wrote our first EP, Justified Murder, in 2 or 3 days. So
Wow.
I was just like, this is fucking crazy. But everybody loved Bloodbather, and it was really cool, and we just had awesome opportunities keep on coming. The other band, it just wasn't happening. I didn't really care about it anymore. Um, and Bloodbather was just fun, and I just wanted to do something fun. So I just kind of dropped the other thing, honestly, really quick afterwards, and then just started doing Bloodbather basically like full time. We wrote the Pressure EP,
Hmm.
um, released that self release DIY, um, and then went from there, I guess.
And one of the songs on that record has like over 300,000 plays on Spotify and stuff. Did you get it like playlisted, or how did that
No,
happen?
I have no idea how that's like our most listened to song too. It's not even playlisted. Well, it's playlisted on one of my playlists that I made. So I've always like tried to like make things work without having the good connects, I guess, in the beginning, where I would have promotional pages and stuff that I would run with like my friends, and I
Hmm.
would just like make playlists for the promotional pages or whatever. And I put that one on one of my promotional playlists, and I guess it kind of just popped off. But yeah, that was a DIY release. I don't even know if there was like a playlisting option back when we released it in like 2018. I mean, there probably
Hmm.
was, but I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, but that's cool. That's rad. So it was just like an organic thing.
Yep.
Did you see, like, were you, obviously you put that out, and did you tour on the EP? Like after you
Yeah, yeah.
put the record out?
So a little bit on that EP, not that much. So we put it out in the beginning of the year of 2018, like the first, I think it was literally January 1st we put it out. We did, I think, like 2 short DIY tours, but we were like really, really broke, and like it wasn't like we had like this whole push like right when the album came out. But after we started doing like little tours here and there, people started paying attention. And then we did like Warp Tour. We did a local day at Warp Tour, which is a crazy story in itself. But
Let's
we did
hear
that. Okay,
it.
so yeah, so basically there is this kid that was a fan of Bloodbather that was like, oh, we're playing this pop-up stage at Warp Tour if you want to like apply to get on. And it was called like the corner stage, right? And we're like, holy shit, it's probably going to be like the Ernie Ball stage.
Right,
Um,
right.
so they did Ernie Ball stages for years where you would have to like do this whole competition and people would always cheat. So it was like impossible to do it. But this one seemed like kind of legit. Like you just enter and then that's it. So we entered and basically the guy just had a hookup for us or something. Like this fan kid that is also in another band, he was like, yo, just put it in and you're good. And it fucking worked. And this is like the funniest stage I've ever seen in my entire life. Obviously loved that I played it, but this stage was, I swear to God, the smallest stage I've ever seen in my entire life. It was about 2 feet tall. And it was probably like, I don't even know, like 15 feet long. And it was so small. It was so small. And it just had a little tent over it. But like a picnic tent, basically.
Yeah,
like it wasn't
like
even like
easy up.
yeah. And basically, no offense to the rest of the bands that were playing the stage, but they didn't really have a draw. It was just, I guess it was just a stage that he got some, it was like a vendor stage supposed to be. I don't even know how he got it going, but we had a ton of hype behind us locally. So I made sure to blast it. Like we're playing fucking Warped Tour. Everybody come and see us and
Right.
make sure to watch our set. And the location where we're actually playing was, so Warped Tour would have these 2 amphitheaters, or this one amphitheater with 2 stages. And then it was like a narrow walkway. And we were in the middle of this walkway basically. So we started playing and I swear to God, there was like 2 people watching the other bands. Like I was like, this is going to be awful. I'm so scared. Cause I don't want to let like our scene down. And I have always have really high expectations and high goals. So I was like, I really need everybody to pop up, please. So about like 10 minutes before we start playing, people start coming. And I was like, oh, okay, this is like cool. Right. So there's like probably 200 people before we even started. And I'm like, okay, sick. This is fine. And then what happened was we start playing and it's like 300, 400. I don't even know because everybody kept on blocking the way to get to the amphitheater. And we're like a mosh band. So people are like, I guess, scared to walk past us. Like they don't want to get hit. So we just had the sickest, like biggest crowd for no reason. And it was sick. Like it was really funny though. Like we played through like 2 tiny PAs. The drums weren't mic'd, guitars weren't mic'd, like just a vocal mic, but it popped off and it really helped us.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And was that prior to you guys putting out the EP?
Oh no, that was like right after.
Oh,
so that was
wow.
the summer that we put out the EP. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool. Did you start seeing bigger crowds at your shows after the Final Request was getting bigger and bigger on streaming, or not as much?
Kind of. I think it started popping off like in 2019 probably.
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird with stuff like that. Like sometimes songs just out of nowhere just pop. I have no idea why. Honestly, that song is obviously it's like a good song, but I don't even know how that one was the one that popped up instead of like Pressure, because Pressure is like the I guess the name of the record. So it's like I always thought that people click on that one, but yeah, I mean that song just did really well. I'm really happy with it, and yeah, I don't really know how though.
That's awesome though. So how did you get? So tell me about getting the phone call from Rise Records and doing that whole thing.
Yeah, so that was really cool. We were talking to some other labels, and it was just like not really like mutual. Like we weren't feeling it or they weren't feeling it, and then basically out of nowhere, Rise just hit up our old manager because he actually stopped managing us. And they hit up our old manager, and our old manager actually hit us back up, and he was like, "Oh, I'm down to manage you guys again." And now we have Rise or whatever, basically. So it was one of those really weird things where it's just like, wow, this is crazy. But Sean was hyped about us from like the get, and I've always loved Rise Records. Ever since I was a kid. Like I have like this Plant U laminate thing that had like the Rise Records logo on it that I had since like high school, like 9th grade. I've always been really into Rise and all the Rise bands, like Devil Wears Prada and all that. So
yeah,
it was really cool. And Chris is he played guitar in the Devil Wears Prada. He's a big help with he's within Rise now, and it's really cool just talking to him, and I just appreciate them so much. They're awesome.
That's so cool. But do
Yeah.
you know what attracted the attention of them, or is just you guys
I
doing
think
all DIY stuff?
Yeah, I think it was just the energy that we bring. We have a certain, I guess, charm to us. we don't give a fuck. So I think
Right.
that caught their attention. We're definitely doing something different, and something that I think they resonated with. So
That's awesome. That's so cool. And so now you guys signed. Did you recently sign to the label?
no, we've been signed to Rise for a very, very long time. It just took a while to get all the stuff situated. With just recording and stuff. So we put out an older song through Rise. We just remixed it and did a video for it. It's called N. And then we did that right before the Of Mice and Men tour last year, right after This Is Hardcore. So around September. And then we just had some issues with like the EP, but the EP's been done since like early 2019. We've just been sitting on it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it's good and bad that it happened. Obviously, you get some hype from just like the whole weight of it, and then with the pandemic, it pushed everything back. But it's given us some time to like rethink like what we're doing for the next stuff, write the next stuff. So we're just really ready to just keep on dropping music.
Yeah. So when is the new EP coming out? And soon? Do you have a release
Yeah,
date for it?
the new EP, 2 days now, Friday, October 9th.
Oh, it is coming out Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
Rad. How excited are you for that?
Very excited. Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I bet. Is it weird putting it out during the pandemic, so to speak?
Definitely. Yeah. We're like a live oriented band, you know what I mean? We're one of those like heavier bands that you really want to see. You want to see it live, you want to mosh. So it's definitely annoying that we have to drop it now, but I'd rather drop it now than wait it out. Because we never know how long this is going to take. Definitely taking longer than I thought.
And I'm sure you guys are still writing new music. So then what?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. During the pandemic, I've been super busy. I produce too as well for other artists. So I've been doing that. I've been writing a ton of music. So it's ready when the world stops destroying itself.
Right. I bet it's difficult, but have you live streamed at all? Like
no, honestly, the live stream performances, they're cool. We're thinking about doing one after the record drops, but I've never really been a big fan of those. I like them, but there's nothing that'll replace a live show. So I think it's better for us personally if we just kind of wait it out. But we might do like one or two.
I mean, you guys are really heavy, so that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So I don't really know how people are gonna like fucking put on their headphones and start moshing in like the middle of nowhere, but
right.
Whatever works, honestly.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, dude, thank you so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have one more question. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Any advice? Don't listen to anybody and just do whatever you want, because in the end, that's gonna help propel you. And you work hard every day. If you're not working hard at something every day, someone else is. So that's what you have to keep in mind, is if you're not going to do it, someone else is going to do it. So if it's your dream, you got to work hard. You got to do it every day. And once you do it every day, you'll make it in the end.